Hi, welcome back to Hubert's Hot Rods and Fabrication after a little bit of a break there. We are working on the passenger rear fender still. We still have a lot of repairs to make on this front section. We have a patch panel that needs to go in there. This patch panel here, we're going to look at fitting it on. We're going to rough fit it. We're going to try to make some type of a template, or we're going to measure it and scribe it. We're going to see what works out the best. So follow along and we're going to continue on with this fender. All right, I'm going to try to do this on video as much as possible. This is caved in a little bit here, and it looks like that's right where this is going to line up, just above that. So we're clear there. This patch panel is long here, as you can see. It overlaps. So that's good. There's going to be some extra material that's going to need to get cut off there. But what I'm seeing immediately is just a terrible fit, which is not a surprise from an aftermarket piece. But they're only, my experience is they're only intended to get you kind of close. This would take me a lot longer to try to make this piece with these curves and stuff in it, and this stamping of this body line that mounts to the front of the running board is pretty crucial. A good thing there's no holes in it. I will make all of the holes and realign everything. So let's get to fitting this. Right away. All right. Getting a better look at that. This corner is giving me some trouble right there, or where it's lining up. I'm just moving the fender around to kind of like get it in a better neutral position. It's hard to tell how much of this is from being crushed and how much of it is just really bad stamping. But we're going to work that out. Okay, template I don't think is going to be the right thing to do. So I think the right thing to do is clean up this patch panel outer edge a little bit. Start to clean up this edge. I want to use as much of this patch panel as possible, cutting out as much of the fender as possible, getting rid of this splice because we're just above that. As you can see right there, we're just above that. So we're in good shape. I'm going to start laying this out with some with a tape measure and tape and just see where we're at there. All right, so I got this set up. I took a couple measurements on my patch panel. I've got 8¼ over here. I went ahead and made a really fine marker line at 8¼ here. And then on this side, I've got 10�3/8. So I made another line at 10�3/8. These are just reference lines right now. Like I said, I am trying to still figure out what I want to do. But getting this up there, those lines match right where I want them to be. Okay? So I've got some masking tape. I'm going to mask across this area to give me a nice, good, clean area to make a nice, bold cut line. I'm trying to use the inside edge, bottom side edge of this tape as a straight line right now. So I've got it right where I want it as a cut line. Make sure it sticks really well. And that lines up with the bottom edge of this tape right here really, really, really well, as you can see. That is looking good. So I think that the next thing to do, just so we don't get confused, that way you know which side of the line to cut of the tape. All right, so I think the next best thing to do is try to get some of this stuff out of the way. Go ahead and cut it off. Get this fit, as I'm running into issues where this is doubled up in the back here, fitting in this area. To get it to fit properly, it's kind of like rocking off of that point. So I need to get rid of this. It's all in the way anyway. So I'm going to come in there and I'm just going to cut right along there. Now, I'm going to pause here for a second. All right, I wanted to take a break there to explain what's going on in my brain. We are going to cut that bottom section of that fender off. We're going to get the new section tacked on. It's really important to check panel fitment as you're going along. It would be really terrible to get this fender cut, welded, and then go to put up the running board and find out that it doesn't fit. So we're going to avoid that. We're going to get this fit temporarily. We're going to get the fender bottom tacked on. We're going to start fitting the running boards. We're going to get the front fenders on, start fitting the front fenders to the running boards. So I think the next step is, like I said, we're going to continue on with these front fenders. I just wanted to take a break there and explain what all needs to happen. All right, getting this fit up here, just double checking it again. This tape line's looking really good. Really, really, really close to what I want. I don't dare cut up to the line yet, even though I feel confident that I can. And I feel like it's going to work out just fine. But I'm going to get my cutoff wheel and we're going to go ahead and cut it off and leave about an inch strip there. But before I do all of that, I'm going to get this piece clamped into place somewhat, and then I'm going to clean the backside of the new patch panel, and then I'm going to marker this line inside edge because it is longer and it hangs over, and I want to get where the fender profile is. Okay, I've got this piece somewhat clamped into place, and this is just a reference line. The two pieces back here are definitely different where they overlap. I'm going to go ahead and trace out the bolt holes as well, even though I'm not going to drill them yet. It's always nice to have some type of a reference. Normally I would do this with a scribe, but I only do something with a scribe when I know that it's permanent, and I am not positive any of this is going to be where it's going to, it's going to stay where it is now. All right. Okay, I went ahead and made a second tape line. I'm going to keep all of this on the fender. I'm going to cut below that. Yeah, let's just get at it. All right. 4.5-inch grinder makes quick work of that. Now we can get this in there with zero problems. And it lines right up to our tape line, nice and beautiful. You know, that tape line doesn't mean much, as we kind of spoke about earlier. It's just a temporary tape line. This inside corner is giving me a little bit of problems on there, but we're going to grab some clamps and we're going to get this clamped and clecoed into place. And we'll go from there. Let's give this a whirl. Okay. So right away, this whole thing needs to shift over this way. My body line here, this seam is not lining up. And the whole reason it can't do that is because the underside, that roll on the fender. So let's fix that first. All right, well, the problem is, after inspecting it, is this inside radius is too tight. So we're going to take it to the T-dolly and we're going to open that up. Definitely, this is temporary. We're going to fit both of these together. We're going to fit this seam together when it comes time to weld it. It'll be fine. All right, that opened it up a lot, and that was exactly what I want. So we're going to take it to the fender and fit it. Let's do this. All right, that's fitting a lot better now. A lot better. That bead lines up perfectly now. Yes. Yes, I am really happy with that. All right, I'm ready to drill some holes and install some clecos. If you're not familiar with clecos, these are clecos. This is something that was used in the aircraft industry originally. It's a temporary fastener. You use a cleco tool like this, and it springs and clamps and sorry, it's really hard to see it, and clamps it into place. Show you how we use them. Just going to go ahead and drill some holes. You can get these in different sizes, so the pilot hole that you drill does matter. I use 16th because it's the smallest hole. Well, it's the best for what I like to use. They're easy to fill. They're strong. And that's just what I've been trained to use. Okay, I've got all my holes drilled, my clecos in place. Now I can remove all my clamps and keep the clecos in. Now I have temporary fasteners that I can take off the panel and put it back on and repeat the process very precisely. Okay, now, like I said, now I can take this panel back off and on and repeat the process, and I don't have to worry about fitment. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and get some of this excess cut off. That's what I'm going to do next. The area that you see right here that I want to cut, just inside of that, there's about 2 inches before that there's no weld on there. So when I cut this, it's going to cut this weld out, and it'll probably spring up, or it probably won't. But I don't want any, I don't ever want this to separate even in the future, even though it's going to be bolted here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a weld there. Increase the amperage big time. Just little tiny welds. Just enough to hold it together. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut off this extension. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove this tape because it is pointless now. Served its purpose. Grab our extension piece that's been cut and everything. That's what you want to see. This thing just fell right back into place. That's what you want to see. The radius of the fender to the new patch panel is fitting really nice. I'll move the fender. All right, let's take a look at that. You can see that's fitting really nice. There's a little bit of a dent right there where the inside of that fender was creased, but we'll hammer and dolly that. But the seam, body line there, the bead there, that's fitting good. This is all fitting good. So this, I say that we have a pretty much a done fender for right now. Let's get the driver's side fender caught up to the passenger side fender.